bit awkward. It's been a while since I filmed a video, and I'm talking softly because my mother's having a meeting in the next room. So the moon is currently in Cancer, so I wanted to talk about what it means if you're born with a Cancer moon. So Cancer is a water sign, and it represents the mother, and the moon also represents your mother or early childhood upbringing. So it's at home in Cancer. I've got my laptop here in case I need to refer to anything. Personally, I feel that Cancer is a very soft sign. It's feminine traditionally, and they always go about their feelings. So these people may not be as strong as an Aries. Like, they will feel out situations, so they may be more hesitant. But because they are so family oriented, they're really good with children. Leo is said to be good with children, but more in a playful way. Cancer is more of that family person, you know. And Cancers are often said to be really good cooks because they are so in touch, not in the way of earth signs, like in touch with the senses, but it rules the stomach. So when the moon transits in Cancer, you may find that your stomach is more sensitive or issues surrounding your stomach, your home, depending on which house the moon is in, may come up. Okay? In Cancer, it's represented by the crab, the symbol of the crab. So they have a hard shell, or seemingly hard shell, but they are very soft on the inside. And I know a couple of people with moon in Cancer, and in their own way they're artistic because it's a water sign, right? It's expressive. It likes to express itself. And one thing people often forget about Cancers is that it's still a cardinal sign. It's the crab, so it has that pincher, you know. It usually only comes out when they feel threatened or scared. Some Cancers are more open than others, like if your sun is in an air sign like Libra. But if there are more careful signs around your chart like Virgo or Scorpio, these moon in Cancer people can be more introverted and more slow to make friends. With the moon in Cancer, the tides of the moon, like the sign is in, the house is in, or whether it's a full moon or new moon, that kind of thing really affects them. They're the kind of people that may probably cry watching a movie. Same with moon in Pisces, kind of. Although Scorpio is also a water sign, Scorpios are less likely to show how they feel because that makes them vulnerable, you know. And Scorpio's not. Scorpio's ruled by Mars, so they're not about their vulnerability. Let's see. Yes, so Cancers always look to the past. The opposition of Cancer is Capricorn, right? And Capricorn is about tradition. In some way, Cancer is about tradition, but not in that structured sense. They're probably more to like, oh, what recipe did my mother cook, or you know, photos of family members, of old family members, may really stir feelings inside, make them comfortable. That sense of familiarity is super important to them. So the moon is always ebbing and flowing, right? So these people are very connected to the emotions. They don't shy away from it. And although it's ebbing and flowing, I would say it's not extreme like moon in Scorpio. It's ebbing and flowing in a very balanced, more balanced way, because Scorpio rules extremities, you know. Yeah, it's been a while since I filmed a video because I really needed to take a break from everything, and at one point, this is off attention, but at one point I was feeling insecure about what I was posting because I showed it to people that don't necessarily support what I say. So I think I really need to protect this part of me first before I can share it with, you know, people that I know personally. I'm just sharing it with people I feel that are into astrology as well, you know. So I feel a bit sad that I deleted those videos, but I try to tell myself to live in the moment and have a fresh start. You know, we just had the Gemini new moon, so it's all about a new beginning, a fresh start, especially in communications, or in our immediate circle. Okay, I think moon in Cancers will really benefit from having saltwater baths, quiet time. And one of my friends who is a moon in Cancer, she's very musically inclined, so not in the way of Pisces and Leo where it's Leo is to show, to perform, right? Pisces is another water sign, so similarly Cancers, they express themselves, the feelings, to the music. But Pisces is more about the creativity, whereas Cancer is more about that feeling. Cancer rules the heart chakra, so which is green in color, I believe. Sorry. So it's they're more of the kind of people that follow the heart rather than the head, unless it's a conflicting sun sign, you know, like Aquarius. Then that person will sometimes show that Aquarius side, sometimes show that Cancer side of them. Okay, let's see what else it says. Oh, these people can be very nurturing, so they're the kind of people you can go to when you sort of need to have that emotional support. But because they're so, I feel like, although yes, but water signs are sensitive, so although they are willing to take it in, it really affects them ultimately. Okay, let's see. I do have some cards, but I'm not sure if I want to use it for this video. I did read a book, Path Working with a Tarot, which basically, instead of using the tarot like in the usual way, we use it to really empower ourselves. And so one way to work with it is to have the cards face up, and you pick the card face up and you work with the meaning of the card. You try to change your thought patterns about what the card traditionally means. So I really like that. And that's what I want people to know when I do a reading for them, is that you are not bound by what you're not bound by what people say or black and white thinking. You are your own person. You are affected by your environment, your feelings, your own unique hopes and dreams. So whatever aspect of life you are looking into with spirituality, it's not about what is going to happen to me or what has happened to me or what readers tell me. It's really about your own intuition and your own choices, your own action. Because like I told this girl, like this friend, a new friend, if you because she was asking about love, right? I said, as an example, if you always stay in your room, then you're not going to find love. And you know, there was a period in my life where I was looking for that thing to fulfill me, not necessarily love, but like, you know, when you're not in your best self, you're always, then that's the kind of people that actually come to us readers. And we have to be sensitive with our words, because at the end of the day, if you really think about it, these are cards, right? Physical objects. And we are human. We are not the same. We are multi-dimensional. So we can make our own decisions based on our given circumstances, you know. Cancer moon celebrities. Yeah, I used to do this where I like go into, because you want to look at real life examples and not just theory. And you want to make sure you check everything, because you don't want to read a wrong chart. Oh yeah. So the first person that comes up is Taylor Swift, and she has Mars in Scorpio, so she's a very private individual. But if you know her, you know that she's very close to her mother, and when her mother was sick, it really affected her. I mean, it would affect most people, I feel, but I think that this placement really gives her that storytelling kind of ability, and music is really like an outlet for her to express her feelings, and not just a performative act. But because she's a Sag, a fire sign, she's feisty, you know, in her own way. But this placement, you know, her best friend is Selena Gomez, and Selena is a Cancer sun. So when you have that conjunction, people tend to get along really well because they understand each other inherently. Oh, Robert Pattinson, Keanu Reeves. Yeah, these people, they're not like, I feel like Keanu Reeves is one of those pretty grounded people, right? So he's also a Virgo, so Earth. So he's grounded, double grounded. But these people are not like, through their creativity, music, or poetry, they express themselves, but unlike, like, let's say Leos will eventually feel like they need to do it for other people, or Aries will feel like it's a competition, but Cancer will still remain in that very internal, which I really like, because as an artist, that's what we really need, is to look inward. Shakira, Shakira's chart though, she's in Aries rising, it says. I don't really, sometimes when I check these charts, like the ascendant changes, so I don't really trust it entirely, but I'm okay with the planets because the dates can't change, right? But the timing, no one knows. I'm not going to go into her because to me she seems more dominant is a Mars, which makes a lot of sense because she's known for her using her sensuality and sexuality to express herself more, so that makes sense. Prince of Wales, William, double Cancer. I feel like him and Kate have done a really good job at like, oh, Kate is also a Cancer moon. That's why they click, and she's a Cap. These two signs, Cancer and Capricorn, they do a really good job at maintaining their private lives, not like in a Scorpio way where it's paranoia, but like in a very natural way that this belongs in this place and public life belongs in this place, you know. It's not forced for Cancer moon, but I feel like it's more intentional with a sun sign because the sun is your consciousness, right? And moon is more subconscious. We often don't realize it until we're with the people that are really close to us, or like by ourselves with our inner thoughts. So that's something to think about. And they are definitely family oriented people. You can just tell that they genuinely care. I don't know, I mean, these are celebrities, right? But that's the vibe I get. It's very interesting because we can't really tell what's going on, but traditionally, Capricorn rules the father. And although it's Earth feminine, but it's masculine in that sense, and Cancer is feminine. So perhaps behind closed doors, Kate is more of a leader at home, and then William follows her. That's a possibility. Let's see. Drew Barrymore, this is interesting. I want to look deeper into this because she's a double water. She's a Pisces, so she's had a lot of difficult things that has happened to her because, for one, she started out really young. And being a Pisces, that's not easy because Pisces is so easily affected by outside energies. Let me see her chart. I feel like her Mars in Capricorn really saved her because that's a strong sign, and that's actually one of like better. I'm filming. That's actually one of the better placements to have. I don't know that much about her, but I do know that she did use drugs and alcohol as a child, but I'm wondering why. Could it be because Mars is opposing in the 8th? Let me see. Saturn conjunct, usually Saturn, So her Saturn's conjunct the moon, but usually these people, it's not in the Pluto sense where it's like everything is all doom and like very dark and very like intense. It's more like they were lonely and had to grow up very quickly. And I feel like this conjunction keeps her grounded in the way that she has Capricorn in her chart. Like, although it's a tough lesson, and usually Saturn appears after we are 30, from 30 onwards. So towards 30, you'll start to feel it, and then it happens. That's what a lot of people say. In the second house, you know, from a young age, she had to make money for herself, because second is about your own resources, and eighth is about shared resources. Eighth is about investments and working with other people. So moon being your childhood, from a young age, she had to work. Saturn is hard work. But oftentimes, you know, being so close to her moon, she was surrounded by older people as a young girl, and she probably gained a lot of wisdom from them through it. Although, like, most of the media is quite negative, I don't see this as an entirely bad placement, although it is not an easy one. Let's see. Okay, let's take a look at another example if we can find one. I should have like opened a new tab to make it more efficient. Interesting, Dua Lipa. Kris Jenner, momager. And I feel like that comes from her Scorpio sun, although it says she's a Virgo ascendant here. You know, that Scorpio sun and Cancer moon really encapsulates that momager image. But deep down inside, you know, she really cares for her children. You know, you can just tell from the way that, I mean, it's quite sad sometimes when they don't listen to her. She's still very patient with them. And plus, with a Mars in Libra, she doesn't want to have conflict. Mercury in Libra, Neptune in Libra. Conflict avoidance. Conflict avoidant, but because she's a Scorpio, she will settle it either legally, because Libra is about legal matters, or through her words that you can't really argue with. That's very Libra energy. Let's see. Her biography here is very short, actually. Okay, let's see who else. Just one more will be good. Oh, Halsey. I said it like I was going to analyze her chart, but I feel like, I think with from all this, you can tell like the moon placement will not dominate the chart, because it's not a kind of sign that would dominate unless you have like conjunctions, right? So that's my personal take. You know, some people follow a more traditional theoretical route. Sophia Vergara is a double Cancer. You see, she exhibits more of that cardinal aspect. She's a very strong personality, and I bet her Mercury is in Leo, is it? Yep. So her communication is very dramatic. Her communication is very loud. Mars conjunct Mercury in Leo. Yeah, loud. And her sun is very close to the moon. So it gives her that fire, you know, it fuels that emotional fire. But sun conjunct moon, like new moon babies, I feel like these people didn't have to change much growing up. They just sort of became like who they are very naturally, because probably both parents were very consistent. Like if you take, for example, sun opposed moon, like opposition, these people like did a 180 from childhood to adulthood, and it was probably because the parents were very opposite. It could signal to conflict. And also, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so opposition, they go back and forth, but with a conjunction, they're more certain of themselves, you know, because the head is aligned with the heart. Okay. I'm not gonna go too much into that because I just did that. I have a self-care deck. So let's do one for Moon Cancer. I always say one and then like, it's never one. Cancer. Yeah, for Moon Cancer. I'm not sure. Moon Cancer. Ground yourself. This one came up upside down, so there's a heart there in the heart space, and just take a walk. So some people watching may be like quite in their feelings at the moment. Cancer being water will do very well with earth, because too much water, too much salt baths, too much emotion can be very tumultuous, or like, what's that word? Never mind. Oh, volatile. So earth with earth, you know, these two cards are earthy. It will help us balance that emotional aspect. It says you can grow yourself by eating a nourishing meal. There we go. Even preparing the meal, right? Cancers love that. This looks like meditation as well. And even walking can be like a form of meditation, you know. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to sit there all day. Sorry. And you know, because that can lead to not being grounded. It can lead to being very in your head, or even above that. There's a rainbow. In the traditional tarot rainbow, the Ten of Cups is like fulfillment, you know, family. It can also point to miracles, miracle child. take a walk. Let's see what it says. Moving the body, right? Being too still, not exercising. It's about a balance, you know. You don't want to overdo the exercise, so it's about finding balance and being the ebb and flow of the moon. It's always like, and you know, it's a bit, although Libra represents the balancing skills, they're always, sometimes they feel like it's never ending, back and forth. So, okay. That's one energy. And then I have this deck, so Moon and Cancer. I don't want to take too many cards. Just one first. Probably someone watching, maybe in that extreme state, like volatile, not extreme, sorry, volatile state. Ten of Air, that's heavy, but in this deck, Ten of Air or Swords, it's not Swords. It looks like the person's about to fly, but like hesitant too. So perhaps one of you or some of you watching are like in that hesitant state of Cancer, like the crab, approaching things sideways but not really like going into what you want. But feathers falling from the sky look really light, so that reminds me of Cancer. Like they're really good at receiving and accepting things, but when it comes to like being direct and going after what they want, they may struggle with that. And it's like blowing out something. So almost looks like a kimono, right? I don't know. Why the Ten of Air? That's very opposite of Cancer, because air is like a very in your headspace, but I feel like although Cancer is water, they can overthink things sometimes. And the cards are saying you need to not just meditate on it, but perhaps take a walk, move your body, move the energy from the head to the body, and then you got the answer. Oop. Ten of Fire. Another 10. In traditional tarot, it represents balance. But here, although the positive is that she's juggling everything and she has multiple talents, the con would be that she's too busy for anything and she needs to stop and just like, some of you may have back pain, you know, the wings look very heavy and painful in the back. It looks like someone is posing in this card, like a model, but it's not someone's real self, I feel. Someone's not being their real self. They have burned everything to the ground. That's very sad. I sense anger, but 10 is also an ending, right? Like a conclusion to something. be a daughter involved. Moon. Again, it came upside down. Oh, I was shuffling upside down. Someone once told me that this card represents something is about to be revealed, but to me I feel, you know, I pulled it this way. Something's out of whack, something's not working. Something's not working and someone wants to give up, and please don't give up. Like, or someone has passed, or what I'm reading here is someone's having like very negative thoughts. Could be at 18 years of age it started or something, but perhaps something needs to be let go of. Letting go. There's a positive thing coming for you if you are in this hopeless space. Someone's keeping an eye on you and thinking of offering something new. Earth is about finances, job, or even a proposal. But basically what it means is something new in the physical realm. Or gift. It seems small, but it's actually very big. You know. Someone used to reflect and used to be very in tune with their emotions, but recently they're not. Recently they have been sleeping on it. Someone doesn't like the way they look in the mirror. Okay, that's one energy. I used to do like affirmations, but I feel like for Cancers that's very in the headspace, you know. It doesn't, it's very airy-fairy to them probably, I don't know. And recently I stopped because to me it's about the action, right? The actions we take that really make a change, and not just saying it. Oh, something fell. Okay. Chanting. I feel this is a different energy. Someone has lots of lung capacity and is really good at a voice, but this looks like teamwork to me, so it could be helpful to seek out. You could be working on like the same project with a friend or something. Why the chanting card? Why chanting? Meditating. Okay, so someone's doing this, like yoga. Someone has a hard diamond heart. Whereas before, the card I showed you, they used to be very open, right? But diamond is not... Someone's not seeing something. Their eyes are closed. Bottom, we have burning up. Yeah, like I said just now, burning something, like letting go. but in a way that's like you eventually come to peace with it, but like the fire is so big, like the anger is so strong. Why? And you know, with the current transit, it's uncomfortable for Cancer because first we have air, Gemini, then we have Venus and Mars in Leo, and that's very like, when Leos get angry, it's just too much. It's very intense, and I feel like moon in Cancers will be very affected by the energy of the sky, not just the moon. Someone's even giving up on their crystals. I don't know why. It's very sad because it's broken. Okay. I just felt that was so Cancer energy because sometimes you guys get stuck in your sadness, and it's very real. It's very valid, but from what I was reading just now, I feel like it's going into a very intense state of anger, which is you're trying to deal with it, but it's uncomfortable for you because you're not used to anger outbursts. You know, you're used to sadness, but not like fiery, angry, conflict kind of things. So you need to find your tribe that vibes with you, not like fake people. I don't know why that card with the meditation really. I don't know, like perhaps something is coming to a conclusion, but usually we see that on the full moon and not the new moon, so someone feels frustrated with that, you know. That's the vibe I'm getting. But it's saying that for moon in Cancer, being alone really helps. For people like me, I need to express it, right? But for moon in Cancer, maybe being alone, meditating, and being with nature will help you. So I hope this video was somewhat helpful or interesting, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.